So we're going to be taking the bike in and getting the front suspension done. We're also going to be switching out the lower fork sliders for some black ones. I'm going to keep these chrome tubes, and then we're doing Ohlins in the front. We'll have the Ohlins in the rear, and we'll be all dialed in front suspension wise. It has been raining, of course, the past couple of days. Barely right now. Just a little bit. This is gonna be the last time I see it with this setup, which makes me a little sad, but also excited.
Siphon, this is hard.
How's it going?
Denver Bronco fan, I approve this paint job.
Oh man, thank you.
You'll see it as soon as you walk in.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Wet, but made it. It's a little wet. All right, so the bike is done. I'm gonna go pick it up right now. Uber's called, waiting on them to come in. It's still raining. There's supposed to be a spot between like 9 and 10 where it's gonna open up a little bit. So we're gonna try and hit that window and kind of get in through there before it gets a little more worse in the afternoon. So we're gonna take the Uber down there, pick the bike up, ride her back. Excited to see how she looks finally with all the front end done. Let's get this show on the road and stay as dry as we can. I was like, oh, it's not raining that bad. You know, maybe I don't need my rain pants. You know what? Next time, even if it's sprinkling when I leave, we're gonna throw them on, because about quarter into the ride, that was freezing. Maybe my nice stealth clothes weren't the best choice for the ride, but you know, it's only like a 40-minute ride, so it's not too bad. And there she is. Definitely looks a little more sleek. I like how the chrome balances out and kind of matches with the little black accents we got on the bike. We'll do a little bit more filming when it's not raining and I can clean all this muck off. She's gonna need a bath. That looks really clean. All right, guys. So we're going to be talking about the suspension setup that we put on the bike. A while back, I put the Ohlins reservoirs on the back. I think they're the HD0 or HD44s. These I had for a while. On the back here of the reservoirs, you can do your on-the-fly adjusting for your dampening. So those are great. Made a big difference in the back of the bike for comfortability if I wanted to be a little more stiff or if I wanted a little more cushiony for the longer rides. Then waited a while to kind of redo the front end of the bike. I knew I wanted to do some different fork sliders because the ones that I had, they were getting all road grimy and mucky, and tried polishing them, just wasn't kind of getting to the look that I wanted it to. So I knew for a while that when I did do the suspension, since you gotta take some of this stuff off, I figured save up, do the fork legs. So we went with OEM Harley black fork legs. And even before that, I had taken off the cowbells for the forks. That itself opened up to make it a little bit more sporty, I thought, but the only thing is that because the cowbells helped protect the seals, I knew eventually I wanted to put the dust covers on the bottom part that kind of goes like, you know, if you have dirt bikes or the Dynas, they all kind of have those things. So just to help protect those sills from any kind of debris or water or stuff kind of getting in there. So those were the two main things aesthetically that I wanted for the front end. That was part of the extra money spent on the front end, was saving up to do not just the cartridges, but also do the fork sliders and do basically all new internals on the inside of the forks in the front, and to put the dust covers on there just to make sure we did things properly. If we're in there, might as well get in there and do it right. We ended up going with Ohlins front cartridges for the front. I believe it's the NIX 228 for the suspension. That's my designation for my front end for a 2017 Road Glide Special. So with the front end, you get a couple different things you can do with it. So you get preload, you can set that on the fork tubes, and then on the fly, on the left side, we have our compression. On the right side, we have rebound. So from factory, or from the factory setup, you start all the way closed and then you open it up 12 clicks. Preload is all adjustable based on weight, but based on your weight, you do different springs, and also depending on if your bike has a fairing, doesn't have a fairing, things like that determines your spring that you need to put in these cartridges. After that, it's all preload for adjustment, which is based on weight too. For my weight, my adjustment was 15 clicks for the preload, which is the highest setting. There's not really any adjustment there I need to do on the preload since it's already done. Compression and rebound. When I got it, I had to kind of go and ride it. You feel what feels good to you. And then while I was kind of adjusting the front end, I was also adjusting the back end with the dampening back here to kind of find that right sweet spot of where the front wheel feels nice and firm on the floor with good cushion, and then also where the rear end feels like it's tracking really well, to try and get that feeling of being on rails, you know, where you're kind of flowing into things and going with it. I will say with the front, I feel like because the stock suspension was so soft, I do feel a little bit more up here in the bars, but it also means I feel kind of more of the road too when I'm riding, which I don't mind. For me, I kind of adjusted going out to 12 clicks. I went to 15, 14, 13, back to 12. And then each ride, basically, I was doing a little adjustment whenever I'd stop to see how I felt. I ended up being about 13 clicks in the front. Still playing with the rear a little bit to kind of get that right feel. I think right now I'm at 14 clicks in the back for the dampening, and that feels pretty good to me. The good thing is that you have adjustments, so whether you want firm, stiff race bike or you want something a little more soft for your long road trips, you can kind of do that, and it doesn't take much effort to switch that up. Now that I kind of have it all dialed in, the biggest thing I've noticed is I feel a lot more comfortable at speed with kind of bobbing and weaving. The front end feels like it wants to dip more into when I give a turn. In essence, when I'm pushing on my bars, there's a lot less effort needed to get the bike to go where I want it to go, and it kind of falls in when I want to do a turn. High speeds feels very planted in the front. It stays on the floor. When I picked up the bike, I had to ride it in the rain, and even on the way back, even before I adjusted it, it felt more confidence inspiring. On the way there, I was a little timid, taking turns really slow and kind of not pushing it. On the way back, having the better suspension gives you some more confidence with that wheel feeling like it's sticking no matter what you're doing. It felt even better once I kind of played around with it and found what preferences I preferred on the front end. So that's actually been quite fun, is getting on the bike and then knowing, hey, I'm going to play around with this and find what feels really good to me, because you have a whole lot of adjustment. There's no like, right, this is perfect for you. Just depending on what you wanted to do and how you want to ride, you can make a lot of adjustments. With my thrashing setup, I have full access to the rebound and compression adjustments here. I don't have to take anything off to do it, so I can literally take my little Allen, flick it, click right, click left, make the adjustments on the fly, and it's super easy. And same with the back, it's just a couple clicks right or left to increase or decrease the dampening. So the adjustment on this is really nice because it's like no effort to do it. It's super simple. The look on the front end looks really clean too, with the black thrash and triple trees. The black kind of just is subtle in there, but it just looks really clean, especially being able to see that. Kind of gives them a little bit more style. I mean, style isn't what I was going for necessarily with the suspension. I wanted performance, and added style is always a nice touch. So now going up to like LA, going to the bike shed, there's a lot of splitting when I'm getting closer to LA. At speeds, kind of splitting lanes, kind of going back between. It feels a lot more smooth to me. Kind of feels more like boat-like, where you can just kind of glide and go where you want to go. A lot easier than it felt before without more effort. But I'm very, very pleased with the upgrade in the suspension. Kind of one of the last big touching points for this bike that I've been trying to do. So I've very much been enjoying riding it, and it makes me excited to get out there and ride it, because I'm really trying to feel how the bike responds, what she likes, what adjustment needs to be made. And that's kind of the fun part of the suspension, is being excited to ride and get it dialed in. And I'm really happy with the way the bike feels and rides now. It's been super, super fun playing around with it. I'm very happy with my decision. Other than that, thanks guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys 2 Fridays. Trying to do videos every 2 weeks, so 2 videos a month. And if there's anything you guys want to see me doing or watching me ride to, or locations in Orange County and South County, let me know. Always open to good rides and any good ideas. So thanks guys for tuning in. Ride safe out there and have a good Friday. See you guys later.